Yes, we have to understand. Looking at price and saying this is going to happen is hard to impossible. Because you and me do not have to look at our crystal ball because that doesn't work here. You and me can always study the price history and plot the probability of what may happen. And that's how you become profitable in this market. Yesterday we talked about this, and today we already achieved the first target. So that's probability. Probability of what may happen, and that's how you become extra profitable. Now, when you look at these items, you have to understand, yesterday I showed you these as my medium term targets, say 2 weeks to 2 months. However, within first 24 hours, we reached that first target. And that's what you have to actually understand about this market. When you are in a bull run, your medium term targets become just short term achievements. But in order to get that, you first need to understand the charts. You need that ability to read that language. Now, when we look at that on the technical side, the same side parallelly, we have some huge fundamentals, right? While Ripple and the overall market is evolving, I kind of request you guys again, do not overtrade and complicate your portfolio. If you have different positions, different trades, it will be hard to follow if you are overtrading. It's better if you have a clear and precise strategy which you can implement to get those profits which you actually want. Just in 1 year, Ripple Net is reaching new limits. We are all waiting for that NDAs to end. Once that non-disclosure agreements are over, we are going to get a lot of announcement coming out. Yesterday, Holmes from MoneyGram showed how they were expanding with profits, right? That huge profit margin. And today, Brad is highlighting how important XRP is in that case. Say for payments, they are utilizing XRP, settling billions of dollars globally. Guys, hold strong to your XRP. Don't let the whales manipulate you. Before this bull run even was getting started, way back here in 0.25, 0.3 levels, I always used to inform you guys that we will be getting those kind of whales who are coming in just to manipulate you so that they can get more units and they'll make you sell. Now, why would they actually do that? Because they don't want you to hold this asset till the end of this bull run. You can decide. Now for that, you came to the right place at the right time for the right asset. Because say yesterday, if you saw this on the right time and then you created your strategy and followed the updates which we were sharing in the Patreon chat and the Telegram groups and channel, you would have received much more value for frequent charts and trading setups, even for your personal portfolio. Now, when we say that, do understand these assets can move even higher than what we anticipate, but it's always better to get those target first, right? For that, you can get assistance using the Patreon link given in the description. But remember, this is 18th of this month. So if you are getting in, do get in on the lower tiers. Just pay $5 for a month or so, or $10 maximum to get some personal messages. But remember, if you are going into the higher tiers, next payment cycle is on 1st of next month. So unless you don't want to get charged again after 12 days, you can wait and upgrade after that. Now, jumping into all of these charts and explaining this, just hold on tight. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now, when we look at the overall market, this tweet is kind of valid. History kind of repeats, or you can say it more than even rhymes. Anyway, it's not just rhyming, it's more than rhyming, but it's not yet repeating. But it looks like it can, right? And that is when we have to understand the technicals, fundamentals, and look at the history. Because right now, your fiat sitting at bank being parked there is depreciating. Now it's completely up to you whether you want to move into an alternative asset where the price is pumping. If you go back, you can see price is really pumping here, and that does mean that you have more purchasing power. You can use that for your family, you can use that to just whatever you want to buy. But if you don't, you're going to lose a lot of purchasing power. You may have the same dollars, but you won't have the same purchasing power. Now, this one gives you that attention. Right now, most of the investors are jumping into BTC and Ether, but once the networks get congested, these kind of issues are always popping up. And the response from Stidas is clear and prompt. If you actually go into that tweet and check it out, it's clear. They highlights you what XRP does and what it can actually do compared to all of those shitty assets. The realized profit in XRP for last 30 days is 100%. That's doubling your money invested in XRP in just 30 days, right? So that is why we talk like you have to be on the right asset on the right time. And it's really important to understand charts, because if you don't, you're gonna miss a lot of things. Yes, I do update everything here related to XRP, so you don't have to go anywhere else. Look at the chart here. This is kind of a long-term approach. Now, I would be guiding you guys from the very long term, moving towards the shorter time frame, and then looking at what we are really doing. So when you see this, you do have to understand, say these charts were prepared like 1 hour before, 2 hours before, and this one was actually prepared yesterday, December 17th, and this one as well. So when you actually see this kind of stuff, you have to understand things does change. But right now, this is the live chart here, and look whether things are moving according to what I have actually plotted here. Then you can decide what to believe, what not to believe, right? So if you would like to get these on a real time, you can join the Patreon. Anyway, now moving further with this chart, you can look at these two lines here. First, let's concentrate on this one running all the way from 0.23 towards the upside here, which we met at 0.46 and now moving higher, is the trend line support there. It was the resistance we broke above. It's the support now. When we were coming to the downside, reaching around 0.48, 0.46, this is the reason why I called I'm buying with leverage and I'm waiting for the next higher high. Once you hit that long-term support and it's holding, the price is slowing down from the negative selling momentum, that is bullish actually. The bulls are getting back in control. Now if you look at this one, which is ranging all the way from late 2018 towards right now, that is also acting as a support. It was a support here, then it turned into resistance, but after a long year, we went back above that, and that's the change in trend. At the same time, do understand the base channel which we talked about a couple of days back is still active. We broke above, we are retesting, now we are looking for a bounce. Now that bounce can take you much higher, right? So from that weekly chart, when you move into a daily chart to look at, okay, we have done this, what are the probabilities? Say we came through this level, boom. The price didn't even respect that level of resistance, even though it was a long-term support resistance area. Now, even when we are coming back, the price is getting supported at the 50-day moving average and it's bouncing back into this resistance zone. And right now, if you look at that, the price looks like it's moving back up and it may soon go back up towards the resistance here at 0.75, 0.78 and then towards $1 mark, say 0.98, 0.97. Still, buyers become a little bit more excited and they will buy in a little bit more and the price wicks even higher. But always remember, this is on a daily chart. When you go back on a weekly chart, Say if you zoom out and then look at the price fluctuation based on the history, you do understand that the next wave can take us to the all-time highs. So you do not neglect that possibility. And that's why I tell you, don't overtrade. If you have 5 to 10 trades, it's easy to manage. You can take profit of 2 to 3 of them around $1. It's not a bad deal. No one never go broke by taking profit. But you reduce your return on your investment if you take all those positions out. If you can patiently wait till the all-time highs. Just from a month ago, we were below 0.3, 0.24, 0.25. And if you have that average, then reaching the all-time means 10 to 15x your money. Now, I do understand that's a lot of money considering the traditional investment style. But this is crypto space. 2017 market cycle gave you 1400x. Okay, leave that. You couldn't get the absolute bottom. You couldn't get that absolute top. Still, 1000x. Now we are talking about all-time highs and 15x. Still, you will see naysayers coming out and saying, nah, we are never going to reach $1. Nah, we are gonna never reach that all-time highs. Now it's completely up to you whether you want to believe this or not. Because looking at a daily chart, the RSI is showing you that it is bouncing, just bouncing from the trend line support. Remember, it's a rising trend line support which dates back all the way towards the late 2019. So that's 1 year of support in the RSI showing you that the price is bouncing. Now remember, this technical stuff is happening when the price is having that momentum, and the positive stuff is happening all around the crypto space and your fiat is depreciating. So while your money is getting cracked, like a vampire, the banks kind of take your money out. Why? Because the central banks push a lot more money into the economy saying, okay, we want to stimulate the economy. End of the day, they are sucking the purchasing power out of your pockets. If you do understand that, you see opportunity here. Even if it is 10% rise in a year, it's far better than storing that wealth inside the bank. Now that's just my opinion and what I see in the price, right? But here, this is the RSI informing you. As I highlighted a couple of videos back, RSI is an indicator used by majority of the traders. So if an indicator pops up, it is valuable, but if RSI shows you that, it's much more valuable. If you remember this pattern which I showed you as a falling wedge, it broke out to the upside. When I showed you it didn't break out, but after that it broke out and it is continuing towards its target. So say it is reaching this overbought territory, by the time you should reach around $1 to $3.5. I know that's a huge call, but looking at that RSI price and the MACD, you have to understand MACD is just showing that bottom, a rounded bottom, moving towards crossing to the upside. That gives added advantage for the price. So with that daily and weekly kind of idea keeping in your mind, you can actually move into a smaller time frame charts. Now this is a 4-hour chart. Okay, we went back up, we hit our first target, say around 0.64, 0.65. Cool. What are you looking at now? Now when I created this chart, as I told, it was created a little bit before, so the price was at this area and I was expecting the price to reach back at this resistance, support resistance. So this support resistance zone. Now we go back and look at the same chart. Say we go into a 4-hour chart, move inside. Now if you want clarity, because we are wicking there, you can actually go into an hourly chart and then look what the price is actually doing. Right now the price is staying above there. It came back and it's trying to bounce, and the 20-day moving average on our hourly chart is supporting the price. Now if you go back onto a 4-hour chart, you can definitely see that the 20-day moving average is trying to go above the 50-day moving average. It's indicating that it's going higher. Look at the direction of 20-day moving average on a 4-hour chart. Because you get to see something similar in a daily chart. The 20-day moving average was kind of saying, okay, I peaked, then it was going down, it's correcting, now it's trying to move back up. This is really important. The direction of your 20-day moving average on a daily, your RSI on a daily, is really important to understand the trend. And that's what it shows, that is the main direction. Now you look at best entry points in that direction. So the long-term direction, you don't trade against it. Now in a bull market, don't even trade against anything. Just follow the actual trend of that impulsive wave. This is the shorter time frame impulsive wave which you are looking at, and then zoom out and look at the real time impulsive move of XRP in a monthly. You will understand we haven't done anything like this right now. We're just getting started. We still have 12 days in this month to go, so that we see this candle close and give you a confirmation of what is happening. If we are creating this a wick like this and moving to the upside above the previous high, that's going to be double bullish. Now, jumping onto a 1 hour chart. This was the trend which we are looking at, and at the top it's 16.3%, and at the bottom it's 24%. So that's kind of the target. And right now, based on what we have achieved in the first target, based on the horizontal support resistance line, we reached around 18.5. So the average of that is done. So the average of 16 and 24, that's almost done. We reached that target. So it's not only the horizontal support, it's also the target of the pattern which we broke above. Now, do understand this area is holding. 0.55 is right now acting as a support. When we went to the downside, many thought that the price is going way lower, 0.4, 0.35, 0.39. But, it depends how you look at the chart. And not all the time you're correct. If I'm correct this time, next time, or say at least in 10 times, 3 times, I will turn wrong. But the 7 times when I'm right is when I act, right? If you are running those trades, you are entering 10 times and 3 times the market is going against you. The 7 trades which you are running takes those negativity outside of your portfolio, meaning if you are 10% in red for that, you micro dollar cost average using your other positions, which will turn green. And that's really happening for those who heard that call at 0.46 and bought there. Now I bought with leverage, that's a different story, but yeah, lesser leverage, it just takes 2. Now for those who bought that day, the profits are running well. And if the profits are running well, one of the major mistake I see with newcomers doing in this market is they don't let their profits run. When they see 1%, 10% profits, they're tempted. When they see 100%, they're going to take that profit out. We have positions running with 150, 200, 300% profit, and that's way how you do the long-term trend. Otherwise, you are not going to get those profits which you are looking at. Now, if you have hundreds of trades, yes, it makes sense to take some of your positions out because you already have hundreds of them left to take profits out when the price is moving to the upside because you accumulated at the bottom, say 0.25, below that 0.2, 0.18. But if you're someone who just entered the market, your average is 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, don't try to increase your average. That's first thing. And the second thing is don't chase the market and don't sell soon. You won't get that realized profit like you see here. 30 days, 100%. If you sold and tried to repeat buy the bottom, sell the top, buy the bottom in a shorter term, unless you're a robot or an algorithm, it's not going to work well for you. If it is, then you're too smart and you can beat the algorithm. But look at your portfolio and ask that to yourself, because this is the time when you should be doing that. People are going in to BTC. BTC is making new all-time highs, but look at the return on investment for BTC compared to your XRP position. If you have both of them, you understand what I'm saying. An asset, you buy at the bottom, you sell at the top to make profit. You look at the trend and how it's evolving. So for me, yeah, I can be wrong and I would be wrong in this one, but I personally believe I'm still on it unless BTC does something opposite to that, right? We have a trend here. It's a valid trend. Everyone is buying. The price is going up. That's cool, running well for everyone. But at least I'm not in the market and I'm not enjoying that ride from around 15,000, 14,800 something. Now if I actually try to plot this, what I see is something like this. This is not putting, negativity out there. This is just putting out what I actually see here. Now, yeah, this can actually vary something like this and all. It can go 5 or 10% to the up, to the down. It's always the standard deviation will kick in. But do understand, these stops which we put in are there, right? If it's not like I'm making things up. You are looking at the momentum. You can understand, say, this is the percentage of rise there. Then you can check what is the percentage of rise here. All those time. Then understand this was the bottom. Okay, we agree, it's cool. And we have done like 1,000% right now. So what are we expecting here? This was like 46,000%. That's huge return on your investment. And this one from the bottom here till the top, it's like 13,000% of profit. Now, do your math and check what you're expecting. Now, yes, as all these huge institutional investors come in and plot the market, you do have this support line evolving, right? The price is moving to the upside now. Each time it hit the bottom, it's something like this, and the price is working on that support line and it's moving to the upside. That's cool, right? That's not a bad thing. But once we break above this area, 35,000, now yes, current price is 23, so moving above that, it's way cool and it's all profitable. But the longer time frame trend looks like something like this. I may be wrong, but first wave, second wave, third wave, that's kind of Elliott. If you go general theme, 3 waves up, maybe then another wave trying to break through that, and then correction, we don't know. But what do you do to make profit? Buy low and sell high, or at least you don't want to be inside an asset which is making those all-time highs. You want to be in an asset which is still working on making that all-time highs. So if you go back onto XRP and then look at your possibility if you are entering into this market and measure the return on your investment, say if you are buying back at 0.46 towards the all-time highs, it's 860% just to the all-time highs. Then if you measure from the current price, which is this red line, towards the all-time highs, you can get near that, right? 650%. Now that's just to the all-time highs. You decide what you want, because the market is always evolving and your purchasing power is reducing. Like, it's like a stone going to the downside. Look at last 10 years. Look at the price of any grocery items towards what you buy, say even your fuel, and then compare it with different assets. If you did receive value for your time, do support the channel. Please do support the channel. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already, because we are going through some of the information which would change your life, which is changing my life personally. I'm looking at the market cycle. I'm entering at the bottom. I inform my patrons at the moments when I take profit. We took profit around 0.75 and that was a great call. Now, that time I wasn't lucky. We were expecting that and we were talking about that 3-4 days back, and when we got that pump to the upside, if you were following this channel during that time, you already understand what we do here. And if you do want to support that and become a part of it, you can definitely look at the Patreon. Link is given in the description below. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.